Hi to everybody. Today's analysis I'd like to start with some changes in my current portfolio. You can see on the screens that today I shorted some yen crosses. First of all, I decided to sell the dollar yen, and an entry level was executed at 110.87. Also this morning I shortened the euro yen at 35.84. The question is why? Despite of the fact that the Bank of Japan Governor Haruhiko Kuroda decided to quell any kind of speculation regarding future withdrawal of policy accommodation from the part of the Bank of Japan, he anyway moved some kind of his words, moved away from his previous position. If you see the statement of the Bank of Japan this morning, they made some kind of changes in the wording of the statement, and from our point of view, very important kind of changes. If you can see in the inflation expectations tendencies of the Japanese economy, the Bank of Japan changed the word of weak kind of inflation expectations trend to the flat one. From our point of view, it's a very important decision and another sign of the future withdrawal of excessive stimulus from the part of the Bank of Japan. So we decided to buy the yen this morning in the dollar yen and in the euro yen crosses. Also, maybe if you trade in other yen crosses like sterling yen, which is of course it's more risky kind of trading pair, you can also short this pair as well. Regarding the other currencies, the euro dollar is still the same. We expect tomorrow's and the day after the ECB policy decision. As you remember in our last report, we cautioned you against over positioning in the euro crosses ahead of this important event. Regarding other pairs, the sterling during the night hours tested the levels above 140. This barrier we still consider as a kind of intermediate point of some kind of pause in the current stage of the price of the sterling, because from our point of view it's also psychological barrier, and maybe sterling is a little bit high at the moment and ready for a kind of consolidation or correction. Anyway, the trend is still up. That's why we are ready to buy the currency, but not at local levels or close to them. We are ready to buy at 37.50 and ready to add to the position at 36.20 with a stop below 35.85, and still expecting another test of 140 and probably breaking of this level with another acceleration to the upside. Dollar Swiss, still the same. We are ready to sell the pair. Once again, despite of the fact that finally United States lawmakers passed the bill to finance the current operations of the United States government, that was agreed only for 3 weeks' time. Nobody knows what will happen in a 3 weeks time horizon. So let's wait for this and see later what will happen. The commodity block of currencies is under a kind of a little pressure to the downside this morning. Anyway, the trend is still up in the Australian and also in the New Zealand dollar. We're still above short-term uptrends in both pairs. So we are still expect a possible kind of correction lower should be bought in New Zealand dollar. Regarding the dollar Canada, the situation a little bit different because there are a lot of talking about the NAFTA renegotiation. And it will be very important how this process will proceed further. And despite of that, we are still expecting the dollar Canada in its strong bear trend. So we advise you to sell the currency on a possible uptick to 25.50. While the pair is below 26.25, a technical barrier, the pair should go lower from our point of view. Euro-yen, like we told at early part of our today's analysis, we are short the currency this morning at 35.84 with the stop above 36.35. This is our decision. We expect maybe the yen will gain some other support during the coming sessions and will accelerate to the upper side, I mean the yen. Euro-Swiss is still the same. We are ready to buy a possible retest of 116.85, where also lies the moving average 400 for our week, for our trend line, not trend line, moving average. This is from technical point of view. We are still expecting this kind of testing 116.85, ready to add at major support level of 116. We're still expecting the pair higher from here, and sooner or later it should test its psychological barrier 120, which is also coincides with the former S&B barrier, which were defended during 13-14. Euro sterling plummeted to the new recent lows of 87.62 or something like that. I don't remember at the moment because I have some problems with my internet connection, and I can show you the graph, the charts, but we bought this currency this morning. The question is why. We will try to explain you. That's because of the fact that we still expect the hawkish stance from the European Central Bank during this week's event, Bank of Japan ECB rate decision. That's why we are still expecting the euro will accelerate to the north, I mean to the upper side afterwards. That's why we are in the position of preparing ourselves for this upside resolution, and that's why we decided to buy the pair this morning. We suggest that the sterling, which tested the waters of about 140 in the cable, for example, it's probably this upside in sterling crosses is a little bit overdone at the moment. From this point of view, we also suppose to buy the euro sterling at the moment, expecting that sooner or later the euro will gain and the euro sterling will test the upper levels with a stronger resistance approaching psychologically important barrier of 0.90. Euro ruble is still no changes here. We still use a kind of pullback in the price of the currency to buy it, but maybe a little bit lower. Of course, a lot will depend on the European Central Bank rate decision some later. We still in a position of buying the dips in the currency while the pair is trading above its moving average 200 daily line, which intersects today around if I remember, around 67, 52, 51. So while we are above it, we expecting the pair resume its major uptrend. That's all for the moment. If you have any kind of questions, you can ask me them by phone, by messages, by email, and what else. And if you need a kind of wider analysis from our company, you can ask for it. We can grant a period 1 month for you, grant period of free kind of analysis for free during this period of time of 1 month. Ask, and I will send such kind of material to you by email. See you later. Bye bye.